Norman Osborn's done a lot of crazy things to fight the heroes, but this time, he recruits Thor. The story begins in Miami. The new Avengers approach Norman Osborn, leader of the Dark Avengers, whose nefarious plans are still under heavy wraps. Norman smugly mocks Luke Cage, the de facto leader of these new Avengers, a new group of heroes recently sanctioned by Captain America. "You're Steve Rogers' charity case. You have no authority over me or anyone else. Avengers, whoop his ass." Is that the catchphrase now? The teams square off. The new Avengers versus the Dark Avengers. In one corner, Cage, Daredevil, Iron Fist, Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, and Wolverine. In the other, Norman Osborn, leading a team of evil versions of many of these heroes, hand-picked by Osborn. Cage beelines for Osborn, plowing through the battlefield. "Hope this hurts like hell." Cage throws a hard right hook for Norman's face, but Norman easily catches his fist. Cage is shocked. Norman hasn't been this strong since the days when he wore a Green Goblin costume. "I know my Osborns pretty well, and he doesn't do that." Something's wrong. Norman grabs Cage's face and hurls him into the distance. Watching it all unfold, Wolverine yells for Mockingbird to go grab Cage. "We can't win this without..." Scar smashes the distracted Wolverine. Scar might not exactly be the Incredible Hulk, but he still packs a punch. Gorgon, the Japanese supervillain who hates Wolverine so much that he dresses like him on Norman's new team, steps in. "Damn it, Scar! I told you I wanted the mutant!" Gorgon approaches Wolverine, who's still getting his bearings after that massive blow to the face. "Logan, I am so desperate to see you wiped off the face of this earth that I'll even take your life in this terrible state." Gorgon lifts his claws to kill Wolverine, but he's suddenly stopped by a stream of webbing to the wrists. "Can you guys tell me where you're getting the costume knockoffs? I am having just a hell of a time getting new costumes." Spider-Man, who's wearing a new shiny white costume of his own, kicks Gorgon in the face, saving his teammate. The new Avengers ship is still flying through the air, but Norman orders evil Ms. Marvel, Deidre Wentworth, to knock it down. "Just give me a second. I have my hands full, which you wouldn't think I would with this guy." "Well, lady, surprise!" Wentworth is battling Daredevil, but Scar comes charging in to give her a hand. But just like that, Iron Fist comes flying in to give his teammate a hand. "Always wondered what would happen if I Iron Fisted a Hulk." The result? Scar goes flying backward through the battlefield, right into Epic, who's dressed like the creepiest version of Spider-Man in the multiverse. Norman stands tall in the middle of the battlefield, as civilians watching on complain about their heroes. "Damn Avengers! Does anyone know what they're fighting about? Norman Osborn's a bad guy, right?" "I don't know. Is he?" Meanwhile, Doctor Strange has his hands full with June Covington, who's dressed like the Scarlet Witch. He wants answers. "I can't imagine what Osborn's compulsion to dress his friends up like true heroes could be. Do explain it to me." Strange blinds Covington with the crimson bands of the Sidorak, but she doesn't seem concerned. "I like this funky, fabulous magic of yours. I love a man that takes charge. I would have loved to keep you around." Covington releases her poisonous breath, her kiss of death. "My gift to you." Strange falls to the ground as her magical binds fall off. Strange can't move. He's paralyzed. "I wish this was a more serene environment, so I could just sit back and watch your skin bubble and flail from your body." But like always, the new Avengers have each other's backs. Daredevil clocks Covington on the head with his baton before she can finish Strange off. "Spider-Man, get over to Doctor Strange and get him to safety." Daredevil's echolocation senses 3 arrows coming toward him, but the virtually invulnerable Wolverine jumps in to deflect them. "Damn you, Barton!" That's Barney Barton, aka Trickshot and Big Brother to Hawkeye. Spider-Man rushes to Strange's aid, whipping Covington's mouth shut with a healthy dose of webbing. "You're gonna have to do something about the breath if you want to go out with me. I mean, really." Spidey helps Strange to his feet, but the paralyzed Strange insists that Spidey has to stay in the fight. At that moment, the Avengers ship is blasted with energy. The new Avengers all look to the sky. Their ship comes crashing down to the battlefield. Mockingbird is severely wounded as the heroes scatter. Evil Ms. Marvel flies down with a smirk. Next? But there's a bigger priority right now than defeating the villains: saving the civilians. Iron Fist and Daredevil rush toward a couple of injured civilians. "Off of me! What did you do?" "We're trying to stop this." "This is your guys' fault. There was no fight here. Why do you guys always do this?" Strange and Spidey talk. They were set up, given the wrong location so Osborn could have a head start. And Cage hates Osborn so much, the villains knew Cage would go ballistic as soon as they saw each other. As if on cue, Cage emerges from the water and marches toward the fray. He spots evil Ms. Marvel soaring through the sky. Cage grounds her with a massive right hook. Still determined to get Osborn, Cage bulldozes through the villains as Trickshot's arrows deflect off his indestructible skin. But then Strange finds renewed strength and screams toward his teammates. Avengers, assemble! The sky lights up, distracting everyone on both sides. Suddenly, a tidal wave appears, separating the groups. The new Avengers stick together as the Dark Avengers begin to lose their nerve. The tidal wave disappears, as have the new Avengers. What the hell just happened? Doctor Strange. What did he do? What he does. Tricks. To be exact, it was the Vishanti spell of mass illusion, found on page 5546 of the Book of Vishanti. As tough as Norman's Dark Avengers might be, they have neither the teamwork or the experience that these heroes do. But, as always, Norman Osborn is one step ahead, and he has some tricks of his own. On a rooftop far, far away from the fight, the team reels from their battle. They were outplayed, tricked, and set up to fail in front of civilians. Now they look like the bad guys, and Norman looks like a victim, but their conversation is quickly cut off when lightning strikes down around them. Great, they have a Thor. It's Norman Osborn's trick play, Ragnarok, the powerful clone of the God of Thunder. Thor? That ain't Thor. It looks like Thor. Everyone's got a different reaction. Spidey tries to reason with the guy who looks an awful lot like his old friend. Daredevil tries to sense if it really is Thor, but the wind's got him all out of whack. But this Thor does not pass Wolverine's sniff test. Thor doesn't say a word, but he gives his answer. He raises his hammer and blasts the rooftop, sending the heroes flying. The massive bolt of lightning shatters the rooftop as Thor floats above, stone-faced. The only hero who leaps into action is Wolverine, whose refined sense of smell knew from the start that this wasn't their Thor. He leaps in the air, shoving his adamantium claws into Thor's chest. Meanwhile, the heroes are still careening toward the street below. Spidey quickly catches his stunned teammates with webs and lowers them to the ground. Above, Wolverine and Thor are trading vicious blows. A hammer to Wolverine's jaw, a claw to Thor's elbow. Screaming in pain as Wolverine repeatedly stabs him, Thor grabs Wolverine's entire head and sends down a bolt of lightning, frying every inch of him. Down below, Cage wants a crack at the clone. Throw me back up there. Up to that crazy not Thor thing? Go! On the rooftop, a weakened Wolverine feebly stabs Thor. But when Thor's eyes light up and he lifts his hammer for one final blow, an unfamiliar look crosses Logan's face. Helplessness. But at that moment, Cage comes flying in to the rescue. Propelled by Spidey, he soars up and double punches Thor off the rooftop. Wolverine, bruised, bloody, and on fire, falls toward the street. Spidey swings down for another rescue. Back in the sky, Cage throws Thor through the window of an office building and grabs him by the collar, more interested in talking smack than using this advantage. I want you to tell Osborn something for me. Before Cage can finish that, though, Thor blasts him, sending him flying through the window. Spidey swings by for yet another save, but he looks up to see Thor locking eyes with him. Uh-oh! Thor flies directly towards Spider-Man, but Spidey uses his Spidey sense and reflexes to dodge. And now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the all-new game show. Who would win in a fight between Spider-Man and fake Thor? Thor turns around mid-air, flying back towards Spider-Man. Never mind, changed my mind. I don't want to play. Instead, Spider-Man recruits someone else to play for him, Iron Fist. A quick web snags a clueless Iron Fist from down below. Spidey flings him up to the oncoming Thor. Fist him! I hate when people say that. As Thor's hammer nears, Iron Fist's fist begins to glow. Iron Fist decks Thor in the face, immediately defeating this powerful clone. From far, far away, the Dark Avengers watch the resulting explosion light up the sky. Nice! Trickshot begins walking toward the injured heroes, ready to finish the job. No, Trickshot, we're done. What? We have them right where we want them. Norman orders his crew to clean up the destroyed pier and help any civilians that require it. After all, their end goal isn't just defeating the heroes. We don't want to murder them. We don't? Yeah, since when? I was aiming for a kill too, honey. Norman turns to Scar for an answer. If we defeat them in battle after they attacked us in public, it's a fair score. But if we hunt and kill them, we look like monsters and probably make them martyrs. See? Smart. Norman doesn't just want to kill the heroes. He wants the public to be happy they're dead. Nah, screw you. I want to kill. Trickshot aims his bows and arrows toward the heroes, but Norman grabs his arm. You made a promise to me. You hold my order, and we'll all make out beautifully. I promise. How are you so strong. Evil Ms. Marvel turns their attention to the wreckage of a crashed Quinjet. A mini-carrier emerges from the rubble, controlled remotely by Mockingbird back in the city. What are you doing, Bobby? Getting us the hell out of here. No, we stay and fight. Dude, we're done. Norman watches the heroes retreat, knowing that he emerged from this battle victorious. He didn't kill the heroes, but he made the civilians question them. From a distance, he makes eye contact with Luke Cage and smirks. But when the mini-carrier takes to the air, it heads back toward the Dark Avengers. They don't know when to quit, but instead of attacking Norman's crew, they leave a little present, the destroyed corpse of Thor's clone. Norman laughs as the heroes depart. Later, the heroes arrive at Avengers Mansion, deciding on their next step. You know what we need to do. We need to call Captain America and figure out how to... Oh, come on now! They see a crowd formed at the gates of the mansion, picketed against the heroes. But behind the crowd is something worse. Armed soldiers. Step out of your vehicle. All of you are to be detained for questioning. Avengers Mansion is being seized by the federal government.